Now you guys are all going to recognize this bird. It comes from the Caribbean, and her name is Jamaica. Now Jamaica is a Caribbean flamingo. Now everybody knows what flamingos are. Of course, they're all over TV. They're pretty much every zoo you've ever been to. But rarely do we get to see them up close like this. Flamingos are so cool. And there's also a lot of myths about them. Raise your hand if you've heard that flamingos can't fly. I know I haven't always heard that. Flamingos are actually migratory. They fly, for hundreds and hundreds of miles to get different places. They're really, really amazing. They're also really vocal. You can hear Jamaica making little sounds as she walks around. But flamingos are very specially built for the environment they live in. They're called filter feeders. If you've ever studied whales or animals with baleen, flamingos are very, very similar. If she were to open up her mouth, the outside of her beak is lined with little, it almost looks like hair, little projections or filaments. So when she's ready to eat, she's just hanging out, walking around, she will actually put her head completely underwater and flap her beak open really, really fast like this. You guys see how it's kind of hooked on the end or curved?
Yeah.
If she turns it upside down, it's just like a spoon. So she flaps her mouth really, really, really quickly, spooning all that water inside her mouth. Then when she has a lap, she's going to push out all of the water, and what's left behind are all the delicious mollusks and little foods that she's just filtered through. So she is technically a filter feeder, and that's how she's going to eat. Now, if you watch her real close, she might do it. She doesn't always. She'll actually stomp her feet back and forth like this. See how she's holding her head upside down? So when she's ready to eat, she'll stomp up and down, flip her head upside down, and that way it stirs up all the muck and algae that she wants to eat. It's really cool. Now, these guys have a pretty broad range. You can see them in the wild as far north as Miami, all the way down to, all the way down to Mexico. So they have a pretty broad range. They're going to migrate back and forth. Yeah, they're pretty slimy. She's pretty comfortable running around. I need you guys to get all crossed up for me one more time. I know Jamaica's very exciting and she's being very flippant. But, she might want kisses, who knows? She's very curious about different textures and nibble on clothes and hair and all kinds of stuff. Now we talked about them eating mollusks and algae and things. Does anybody know what actually turns flamingos pink? What do you think? It's not fish. Any other guesses?
Shrimp.
I hear shrimp. All right, I thought so. That's another myth we're gonna bust. So, what turns flamingos pink is not actually shrimp. It's something called blue-green algae, which sounds kind of strange. Why would blue-green algae turn something pink? Well, there's something inside that algae that you and I actually eat all the time called carotenoids or carotene. It's something that turns sweet potatoes orange and carrots orange. If you were to only eat sweet potatoes and carrots, you would be orange too. And that's exactly what happens with our flamingos. They eat a really large amount of that carotenoid infused algae and turns them pink. Pretty cool, huh?